Hello, you guys. So I am using my Android right now because um it's been a really long day and night, however you choose to put it. This camera makes my skin look really horrible. But I'm going live right now because I want to discuss a topic that most people will not hit on, period. And I just feel that it is a need to talk about it. Marriage, okay? The ups and the downs about marriage. Marriage can be a very beautiful thing, but also it can be a very bad situation depending on your spouse, the person that you said I do to. Okay. A lot of times we lose ourselves being married. We put ourselves on the back burner because at that very moment you begin that journey with someone, whomever you said I do to, then things change. That means the responsibility changes. That means it's not about you anymore. That means it's priority first. God, husband, children, then self. Okay. That is what we are taught coming up in a household where it is mother and father, and a lot of people can't say that they mother and father married one another. Um, and a lot of times you get lost. You get lost in being a mother, a provider, a wife, everything. You get lost. And in the midst of that, you lose yourself. And in the midst of losing yourself, you forget who you really are because you devalue yourself to be that woman that you're supposed to be, or you were taught to be for your husband and your children and so forth. And you put on this mask of joy and happiness, and you forget who you are. You forget your true identity. And it's so crazy because women find out that their husbands are out here cheating with multiple women, having affairs, and the whole time you've been faithful to this man. But in reality, he's not being faithful to you. So what do once you find out this man that I said I do to, this man that I put my all into, has went out and been cheating for years, or he's been talking to other women, even if it's not sexual, you've still been entertaining other women. Okay. And a lot of times men will devalue what they have at home to try to make their wife self-esteem low. They try to devalue their wives. They keep them in a place of depression, and a woman doesn't realize that she's depressed until a few things happen. She finds herself an outlet. Okay. And what I mean by that is she finds a way to cope with what she's dealing with. She can go out here and she can smile, play the happy role, but reality is she's really not happy because she's being misused and abused and taken for granted by the person that she said I do to. The very person that was supposed to protect her, be her friend, be her lover, be her everything, but not her God. Okay? Mistreats her, verbally abuses her, neglects her, but expects her to still do what it is he wants her to do. Cook, clean, have sex, run the house, work full-time job, buy the food, prepare the food, clean up behind him, be his maid, roll over, have sex, and then once it's all said and done, he turns around and verbally abuses her, if not physically but mentally, and put her back in a place of depression where she's feeling that it's nothing else outside of that because that's all she knows. Because she's been taught marriage is not an easy thing. You are to deal with it and cope and endure that because that's supposed to be a part of love. No, it's not. Okay? Love doesn't hurt you. Love doesn't verbally abuse you. Love doesn't physically abuse you. And love does not mistreat you. Okay? You have to know your self-value, even when that man leaves. I'm being honest. I cannot tell you, and I cannot post something that I have not been through. It's not putting my business out there, but it's being real, because see, people don't want to be real anymore. They want to put on a different face, and they want to wear expensive clothes and expensive shoes, and they want to pretend like it's okay in the eyes of the public. But behind closed doors, you're being degraded verbally. You're being physically and mentally and emotionally abused and misused. Like you have no value, no self-worth. You say, oh, this is what love is. It's not what love is. Love does not mistreat you. Love does not verbally abuse you. Love does not mishandle you. Okay? Nowhere in the Bible do it say, when it comes to marriage, that love is abuse. Whether it's verbally or physically, it does not say that in the Bible. We choose to weather that storm when we say I do, because it does say for better or for worse, but not in the Bible. It does not say be that man's fool or be that woman's fool. It does not say that. So, as my coworker began to speak last night about her marriage, I listened, because I myself have also been down that road where you give a person your all to only turn around and find out years later that this person has misused you and verbally abused you, and his whole agenda was to keep you emotionally crippled, depressed, and suppressed. You so depressed, you can't even figure out which way you're going, left or right. You're dealing with so much oppression till you don't even have room to break free, to breathe, to even pay attention of what's going on around you, to know what's really going on, because you're trying to figure out a way to cope with what you're dealing with. So you begin to pick up addictions, whether it's a shopping addiction, a drinking addiction, a popping narcotics addiction, a smoking a weed addiction. You figure out a way to cope with what you are going through. Whether another man crosses your path and whether another woman crosses your path. It go both ways, because us as women, we are not always honest. But coming from a woman's standpoint, I can honestly say men have to be mindful how they treat their wives. Even if you're not married and you're with someone else, be mindful with how you treat her. Because I always tell people, you're a man, right? What if another miniature you, not from your DNA, but a young boy coming up just like you, got a hold to your daughter, mistreated and verbally abused and misused her the same way that you misuse me, verbally and mentally abuse me? Could you take that? I wait for that answer, man. You could not. Reason being, because you would want to defend her at all costs, because this is your child. This is your daughter. She's a part of your DNA. How dare he mistreat her? Right? You want to bust his head to the white meat. but yet you disrespect the woman that laid down and bared your child. Yet you mistreat the very woman that you stood before God and said, I do to. But you verbally abuse her. You physically abuse her. You mentally abuse her. You cause her to go into a stage of depression. You try to keep her closed in away from the world and everything in it. Because why? You don't want to be caught in the act in which you're committing. You see what I'm saying? So I tell people, be mindful how you treat your significant other. Because one man's trash will always be another man's treasure. And us as women, we have to stop being willing to accept anything. Because at the end of the day, it all comes with a price. He can drape you in the finest clothes. But at the end of the day, when you go home and take off all that makeup and you take off all them fancy clothes, who are you besides the labels that you put on? Who are you? What do you have for self? If he decides to get up and leave you today or tomorrow, who are you? What do you have to stand on solid for self? And I'll wait for that. You guys can get back with me on that. But I am going to literally begin to speak out on things that I feel needs to be spoken out on. I'm not a professional. I'm giving you life experience from self, from woman to woman, from woman to man. Because our black men become successful and they get to this very high place in life till they date outside their culture. I'm not racist. I feel that a black man need to understand it is a black woman that carried you, a black woman that had you laid on the table, pushed you, whether it was push or C-section. You will go and get with a woman from a different culture and treat her with the utmost respect. But yet you would disrespect a black woman when you came from a black woman. That's another topic. I hit on that later. But I can't understand. Why do the men that we love and we give our all to continue to mistreat that black African American queen? Why do you mistreat her when you come from a queen? I wait for that answer. Men, do not get married if you are not serious. Women, do not get married if you are not serious. There is no other way for me to sum that up. Because of the simple fact, marriage can be a beautiful thing. But also, if you and whomever you saying I do to are not ready, you are in for a rude awakening, because you will endure all kind of pain. You will go on all kind of roller coasters. You will be verbally fighting, physically fighting, mentally drained, spiritually drained. And then you find yourself acting out because now you want whomever hurt you to hurt in the way in which they hurt you. You're fighting now. You're going tit for tat. There's no greater sin than the sin that he or you commit. It's all sin. I don't care how you sum it up. It's all sin. And you end up tarnishing who you are, trying to hurt him for hurting you or deceiving you. So you know what, ladies and gentlemen, post your comments. I am at this point going to, like I said, speak out on things that people don't want to speak out on. Bye.